Dorothy Malone as Constance Mackenzie, Ed Nelson as Michael Rossi, Mia Farrow as Allison Mackenzie, Ryan O'Neill as Rodney Harrington, Barbara Parkins as Betty Anderson, Tim O'Connor as Elliot Carson, Christopher Connolly as Norman Harrington.
Gus Chernak's son Joe collapsed and died here on the Peyton Place shoreline. Since that tragic moment, Gus has tried to pick up the pieces of his shattered life. But this day finds him on a collision course with all his past furies.
Give me a whiskey. Ada?
I heard you. Why don't you quit while you're still ahead?
Lay off. I haven't had a drink since Joey died.
And why start in all over again?
One's all I came in for.
You'll stay for more.
You want to bet?
I don't even bet on the sun coming up, but I expect it to anyway.
No, smart talk. Everyone's got their say about Gus Chernak. You don't want to serve me?
Well, what got you started this time?
One drink, just one. That's all I came in for. Saw Harrington today. He had his say, too. His kid kills mine, and he still shows his face to me.
You're not the first guy that had to come in here after Harrington got through with him.
He's not through with me, not by a long shot. I'm not through with him.
You start making trouble for Harrington, you're going to end up making it for yourself.
Don't be so sure.
Look, Gus, winners are always winning. Losers go on losing. That's the rules of the game.
Well, who's the winner? He lost his fat job at the mill. His son's in jail. Harrington's finished.
You're the one that needed the drink.
I told you, lay off.
Hello.
Stella?
Who is this?
It's Ada. I just thought you ought to know your father's in here.
How bad is he?
Well, he's got a drink. He hasn't touched it yet.
Tell him I said to come home right away.
Honey, he's just spoiling for trouble, and I don't want any. I was hoping maybe you might come over here and get him yourself.
It's your bar, Ada.
It's your father.
I'll be there.
What is it? Something about Allison?
No, Rod, but I checked before I came over. There's no change in her condition. I filed the papers on your bail this afternoon. Your father's working on things from his end.
What do you mean?
Well, he's gone out of town.
Why?
I assume to try to expedite things.
Well, where'd he go?
Nobody knows.
Well, what else is new in my life?
I work with your attorney, Rod.
Why, the house call at this hour?
I've been with Norman. Thought maybe you could shed some light on some of the things he found it impossible to talk about.
You said you work with my attorney. What you're really saying is you're one of my attorneys.
Mr. Dow feels I can be of some help.
Does he know you're here?
Would you prefer it if I check with him first?
What do you want to know?
The statement you voluntarily gave to the police It began with your meeting Joe Chernock on the wharf.
That's right.
Well, I want to know about the events that led up to that meeting.
That sounds like a question the prosecutor would ask me.
I'd better know the answers too, Rod.
The day Joe died, I went to see him at his house. He wasn't home.
Well, then when you saw him that night, he knew you were looking for him.
I guess so. I told his sister Stella I wanted to talk to him.
Did you have any previous encounters with Joe Chernock?
A couple of times, once in front of the drugstore where Rita works.
Well, what about it? I'm not the prosecutor, Rod.
Well, nothing about it. I told Joe he should leave Norman alone. I told him that Rita should choose whom she wants to date. He said something clever like, we'll see about that.
And the other time?
At the mill. Joe suggested that Norman should find himself another girl, that Rita was his girl.
And those were the only times you met up with him?
That's the story.
Well, that all sounds quite gentlemanly. Your brother and Joe pursuing the same girl, and you taking Norman's side, as any big brother would do.
That's right.
Well, maybe that's only half the story, Rod. Maybe you haven't changed that much. You know, I've still got a scar on the back of my head from a pan you threw at me. You were about half my size, but that didn't worry you. No, your little brother Norman had thought I'd stolen something. And you came charging into the kitchen with the first thing in sight. Because nobody was going to get away with picking on Norman.
You know, you'd make a good witness for the prosecution.
Listen, Rod. Fowler doesn't need my help. He's no fool. Now, he must have something that could be interpreted as a good motive or premeditation or both.
Yeah, and I'm still trying to figure out what. You know, you may find this hard to believe, Stephen. But that's your problem, not mine. We always saw things from different sides of the fence.
You mean different sides of the tracks, don't you? You don't seem to accurately judge the seriousness of the spot you're in.
And you feel that your judgment is...
Superior? Yes. You may find that fact distressing. It's a fact nonetheless.
I wonder if we have to live with this resentment that we share for each other. In my judgment, I've already got a lawyer whom I can rely on.
Now, let's forget about Mr. Dowell and just deal with the quality of your judgment. It was your judgment to make that voluntary statement to the police.
That's right.
And it was your judgment to sign that statement.
Someone died. I was part of it. I had to explain what happened. I had to get it off my chest.
Well, if I had been involved, I would have broken your hand before I would let you sign it. Oh, you got it off your chest, all right, and right around your neck.
Mr. Dowell didn't want me to make that statement. He didn't want me to sign that statement, but he understood my feelings. He respected my feelings, and he finally deferred to them.
Well, with all respect to Mr. Dowell, I would not have deferred to your feelings. Now, why was Joe Chernock tormenting your brother? It's very important that I know. I tried to find out from Norman, but he developed a case of lockjaw.
Stephen, there's nothing to talk about. Like I said, I've already got a lawyer whom I respect.
You don't have to respect me.
Thanks for coming by.
Someone had to take care of Joe Chernock. So Rodney Harrington saddled up his charger and rode into the night. Right past the police station where they have a building full of men who are trained, paid, and sworn to enforce the law and protect the people from guys like Joe Chernock. And rode face to face into a confrontation with his brother's enemy. He doffed his cap, and the rest of it is recorded for posterity by the police stenographer.
You're probably the man most likely to succeed. And maybe you're the man most likely to effectively defend me. But to me, you're still...
Stephen Cord. Taylor? We're in great shape, Rod. You hate me, and the prosecuting attorney has a good reason to hate your father. Point 2. Fowler knows what his case against you is. I don't.
I don't either, Stephen.
Well, then let me tell you point 3. Not as a friend, not as an enemy, but as one of your attorneys. We're in trouble.
glad you're here.
Where else would I be?
Oh, I don't know. You could be over there or up there. But you're standing where X marks the spot.
Want a meatloaf sandwich?
No, thanks. This is the only place in town where I feel comfortable.
You don't feel comfortable now.
Stephen Cord just gave me a dose of interrogation. One question right after another, just like a machine gun.
How come?
It wasn't anything serious. He just wanted to show me what it'd be like in court facing what's his name?
You know his name.
Mr. Fowler.
Yeah, what'd he ask you?
Oh? All kinds of questions. About a girl named Rita Jacks.
About me and Chernak.
Yeah.
What'd you tell him?
I said, shut up, Mr. Cord, friendly counselor for the defense. Shut up, shut up, shut up.
You know what? I'm gonna get you a comb for Christmas. Yeah, with about 900 teeth.
Hey, has your mom got any new songs on the jukebox? You know, you can tell her World War II's over. They don't play swing anymore.
Oh, we can play the radio.
No, let's play the jukebox.
Well, Mom's got customers.
Well, customers are people. I think they'll like my choice of music. After all, I have the common touch. Come on.
No, wait.
Who's out there?
Gus Chernak.
Good.